Let me start with a question. Have you ever been with a guy thinking you've done everything right? You looked incredible, you gave him your full attention, maybe even slipped into that sexy outfit you knew he liked, and yet something still felt off, like he wasn't fully there? Here's the shocking truth. Studies show that 85% of men don't feel truly aroused until one very specific thing happens. And no, it's not about your body, it's not about a new position. And it's definitely not about watching some movie scene for inspiration. See, here's what most women don't realize. Men may act simple, but when it comes to arousal, they're way more complicated than you think. Sure, men are visual creatures, that's the stereotype. Flash a little skin and boom, they're excited. But that's not real arousal. That's just a quick reaction. What I'm talking about is the kind of deep, magnetic desire that makes a man addicted to you. And that kind of desire, it doesn't come from what he sees, it comes from what he feels. Now, imagine this. You're with a guy, and instead of jumping straight in, you give him that slow burn, the kind of energy that makes his heart race before you've even touched him. You make him feel like he's not just another guy, but your guy. You create tension, you make him feel wanted, safe, connected. That's when real arousal kicks in. The truth is, men want to feel chosen. They want to feel irresistible to you. And until they feel that, 85% of men don't hit that deep level of arousal at all. So today I'm going to break it down for you. I'll show you the 5 keys that flip the switch inside a man's mind and body, the exact moments where arousal goes from surface level excitement to something he can't shake off. And here's the best part. When you know this, it stops being about trying harder or looking perfect. Instead, you'll understand how to use your energy, your presence, and your confidence to get him completely hooked on you. Because when you know how to do this, you don't just turn him on, you make him stay turned on for you. All right, let's dive into the 5 things that men need before they truly feel aroused. Let's start with the very first thing that flips the switch for a man, and this one is going to surprise you. Most women assume that men are always ready, always turned on, and don't really need anything more than a visual trigger. But here's the truth. Men crave to feel desire just as much as you do. Think about it for a second. How many times have you wished your man would look at you, grab you, and make you feel like the sexiest woman alive? You don't just want intimacy, you want to feel like he can't keep his hands off you, right? That feeling that says, he wants me, he's hungry for me, he's chosen me. Guess what? Men want that exact same feeling. They want to feel like you are crazy about them. Now, let me give you an example. Imagine 2 different scenarios. Scenario 1, you're in the bedroom and you're going along with it, but it feels a little routine. You're giving, but you're not showing much excitement. He's left wondering, is she really into this? Or is she just here? Even if you're doing everything right physically, that lack of emotional hunger will leave him feeling flat. Scenario 2, same situation, but this time, before anything even happens, you lean in and whisper in his ear, God, I love it when I'm close to you. I can't get enough of you. Or maybe you just grab his hand, put it on you, and say with a smirk, this is mine tonight. That little spark of you wanting him is what sends his desire into overdrive. See the difference? In the first scenario, he's left feeling like intimacy is a box to check off. In the second, he feels like the center of your universe in that moment, and men live for that. Here's why this matters. For 85% of men, arousal doesn't fully kick in until they feel that you want them, and not just want what they can do for you, but want them as a man. It validates them. It excites them. It tells them, you're not just lucky to have me, I'm lucky to have you too. I know some of you might be thinking, but Matthew, shouldn't he already know I want him? Sure. But here's the secret. Men have fragile egos when it comes to desire. Even the most confident guy still wonders deep down if he's enough for you, if you're really turned on by him. And when you show it openly, whether it's through words, touch, or just that look in your eyes, you're giving him the green light to fully let go. Here are a few simple ways you can show desire that go way beyond the obvious verbal desire. Tell him what you love, whisper something naughty, or even just say, you drive me crazy. Physical cues, touch him like you can't get enough, whether it's running your hands down his chest in public or pulling him in for a kiss out of nowhere. Energy and attitude. Sometimes it's not what you say or do, but how you carry yourself, the playful smile, the confidence, the way you look at him like he's the only man in the room. And here's the kicker. When you make him feel desired, you're not just turning him on, you're giving him the courage to fully show up for you, to let his guard down, and to give you the passion you've been craving. Because let's be honest, ladies, when a man feels like you want him, he'll move mountains to make sure you feel the same way back. So remember this, men don't just want to be admired for their bodies or what they can do. They want to feel chosen, desired, wanted. And when you give him that, you awaken a level of arousal that no lingerie, no movie scene, and no perfect technique could ever touch. That's the secret. Desire unlocks desire. And when you show it first, he'll never forget it. Ladies, let me tell you something, men, don't peak from instant gratification. If you give a man everything right away, no mystery, no tension, no build up, you rob him of the most powerful part of arousal, and that's anticipation. See, men are wired to chase, to pursue, to lean into curiosity. And when you take him on that little roller coaster ride where he doesn't quite know what's going to happen next, that's when his whole body gets engaged. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you're on a date, and instead of going straight for the kiss, when the moment presents itself, you linger. You look into his eyes, hold his gaze, maybe let your hand brush against his, and then you pull back with a smile. That one moment creates an electricity so powerful, it makes him ache for more. That's anticipation. It's the tease, the slow burn, the suggestion of what's coming without giving it all away. Here's what most women get wrong. They think anticipation means playing hard to get, but there's a huge difference. Playing hard to get can feel cold, distant, even disinterested. Anticipation, on the other hand, is warm, playful, and inviting. It says, I want you, but I'm going to make you wait for it just a little longer. Men love this. Why? Because it turns intimacy into an experience, not just an action. He's not just thinking about the moment. It's living rent free in his head hours before it happens and hours after it's over. Let me give you an example. You're sitting on the couch watching a movie together. Instead of cuddling up right away, you lightly trace your fingers across his arm. Not constant, not predictable, just enough to make his skin tingle. Then, just as he leans in, you shift a little and keep watching the movie. He'll go crazy wondering, is she tasing me? Does she even know what she's doing to me? That's the magic. Here's the science behind it. Anticipation increases dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical. And dopamine isn't about the reward itself, it's about the build up to the reward. That's why a man often feels more excited leading up to intimacy than he does after it's over. When you master anticipation, you keep his dopamine levels spiking, and that makes his desire for you almost unbearable. Now, I know some of you might worry, but what if I tease too much and he loses interest? That's where the balance comes in. Anticipation isn't about denying him completely. It's about giving just enough to keep him hungry. Think of it like feeding him little bites of dessert instead of handing him the whole cake at once. So how can you create anticipation in real life? Here are 3 simple ways. 1, use your words. Send him a cheeky text earlier in the day like, I can't wait to see you tonight, but you'll just have to wait to find out why. Boom. His mind will be racing all day. 2, control the pace. Instead of rushing, slow things down. Walk past him, deliberately pause before a kiss. Let your lips hover near his before pulling away for just a second longer. That pause will drive him wild. 3, playful denial. If he goes in for something, sometimes hold his hand back, look him in the eyes, and say with a smile, not yet. That tiny delay makes the moment 10 times hotter when you finally give in. Here's the best part. Anticipation doesn't just make him crave you more in the moment, it also makes him replay it afterward. He'll be lying in bed thinking about how you teased him, how you made him wait, and how it made him want you even more. That's the kind of memory that sticks. So remember this, anticipation is not about withholding, it's about storytelling. It's about building a scene so charged with tension that when the release finally comes, it's unforgettable. And once you master anticipation, ladies, you won't just turn him on. You'll make him addicted to the way you make him feel. When I tell women that one of the biggest turn-ons for men is emotional safety, they usually look at me like I'm crazy. Because when you think of the word safety, it doesn't exactly sound sexy, right? You probably picture comfort, stability, maybe even boredom. But here's the twist. Without safety, true arousal never happens. Let me explain. Men are under a huge amount of pressure when it comes to intimacy. Society tells them they have to be ready at any moment, that they're supposed to perform like machines, that they should never show insecurity. And because of that, So many men are secretly terrified of disappointing a woman. They're thinking, what if I'm not good enough? What if she's not enjoying this? What if she's comparing me to someone else? Those fears may never come out of his mouth, but trust me, they're there. Now imagine you're with a guy and he feels like he's being judged, or like he has to live up to some impossible standard. Do you think he's going to feel relaxed, connected, and free to fully let go with you? No way. His mind will be too busy trying not to fail. And when a man is in his head, his body isn't going to respond the way you want it to. On the other hand, when you create an atmosphere of emotional safety, where he feels like he doesn't have to perform, where he feels accepted exactly as he is, that's when his body and mind start to open up. That's when real arousal begins. Because arousal isn't just about what's happening physically, it's about what's happening mentally and emotionally. Think about it. When a man feels like you're genuinely into him, not just what he's doing, not just how he looks, but him, he relaxes. He stops trying to put on a show. He becomes present. And that presence creates connection. Connection then fuels desire, and desire is what makes intimacy unforgettable. Here's the thing. This doesn't mean you have to constantly reassure him with words. Emotional safety is communicated in subtle ways. It's in the way you touch him, the way you smile when he kisses you, the way you respond with playfulness instead of criticism if something doesn't go perfectly. It's in the way you let him know, without even saying it, I like being here with you exactly like this. That's when his confidence surges, and confidence is the fuel for his arousal. I'll give you a quick example. Imagine a man kisses you and it's not perfect. Maybe it feels a little rushed, a little messy. In that moment, you could pull back, roll your eyes and make him feel like he failed. Or you could laugh, grab him, kiss him again and say, I love how much you want me right now. Which one do you think will make him want you more? Which one creates a safe space where he can let go of the fear of being judged and sink into the experience with you? When a man feels safe with you emotionally, he's not just aroused physically. He's turned on by the fact that he can be himself around you, that he doesn't have to fake it, doesn't have to hide his insecurities, doesn't have to be perfect. That freedom is intoxicating. And ironically, it's the very thing that allows him to show up as the confident, passionate man you want him to be. So yes, safety is sexy because it removes the walls, it strips away the pressure, it invites him into a space where he's free to give and free to feel. And when you give that to a man, you don't just unlock his desire, you unlock the version of him that's fully present, fully alive, and completely addicted to you. Confidence. If there's one quality that can completely change the way a man experiences you, it's confidence. And I don't mean the kind of confidence where you walk into a room like you own it, or where you never doubt yourself for a second. I mean the kind of quiet, undeniable confidence that radiates in the way you carry yourself, in the way you smile, in the way you let him know, without even saying it, you're lucky to be here with me. That energy is intoxicating to a man. Here's why. Most women are so focused on trying to be perfect that they forget what actually captivates a man. They worry about whether their body looks good from every angle, whether they're saying the right thing, whether he's comparing them to someone else. But what men really respond isn't perfection, it's presence. It's the woman who can lean into a moment without holding back, who shows up unapologetically, who doesn't need his validation to feel sexy because she's already owning her own power. Picture this. Two women walk into a room. The first is everything right, the outfit, the makeup, the heels. She looks amazing, but she's stiff, self-conscious, checking herself in every reflection she passes. The second woman, maybe she's not as polished, maybe her hair is a little wild, her outfit not perfectly styled, but she walks in laughing, making eye contact, playing with her glass as if she's completely comfortable in her skin. Guess which woman every man in that room is drawn to? It's the second one, because confidence is magnetic in a way beauty alone can never be. Now, translate that into intimacy. When a man is with you, he's feeding off your energy. If you're holding back, if you're second guessing yourself, if you're constantly wondering how you look, he feels that. It makes him hesitate too. But if you lean in, if you touch him like you know he wants you, if you kiss him like you're hungry for him, if you move like you're not afraid of being seen, suddenly he's free. Your confidence gives him permission to let go of his own fears, to stop thinking about performance and just fall into the moment with you. Men are turned on by confidence because it sends a powerful message. You're not waiting for him to decide if you're desirable. You already know you are. and that flips the script. Instead of him thinking he's in control, he realizes he's the one who's been chosen. That shift creates an irresistible tension. And let me be clear, confidence doesn't mean being perfect or pretending you have no insecurities. Real confidence is about embracing yourself exactly as you are. It's laughing if something awkward happens. It's owning your quirks instead of hiding them. It's looking him in the eyes when you kiss him instead of shying away. That kind of raw authenticity is so much more powerful than some image of flawlessness. Think about it. How many times have you been around someone who made you feel comfortable just because they were comfortable with themselves? That's the vibe men crave. That when you bring confidence into the bedroom, or even just into the way you flirt, you instantly stand out. You're not another woman trying to impress him. You're the woman making him chase you. And here's the secret: confidence isn't just about turning him on. It also changes the way you feel. When you decide to stop overthinking and just own your energy, you stop being in your head and you start being in the moment. And that presence, that freedom, that sexiness, it's contagious. He feels it, he feeds on it, and he can't get enough of it. So yes, confidence is the ultimate turn on, because it's not about how you look, it's about how you make him feel. And when you make a man feel chosen by a woman who clearly knows her own worth, he doesn't just get turned on, he gets hooked. Here's the final piece, and honestly, it's the one that makes everything else fall into place. Connection beats perfection every single time. So many women get stuck in their heads thinking they have to look flawless, act flawless, perform flawlessly for a man to be fully aroused. They obsess over the right lingerie, the right lighting, the right moves, the right timing. But here's the reality: men don't remember perfection, they remember connection. They remember how you made them feel in the moment. Let me give you an example. Imagine a night where everything doesn't go according to plan. The music isn't right, the food gets cold, maybe you laugh too hard at something silly, and it kills the mood for a second. In your head, you might be panicking, thinking, oh no, I ruined it. But for him, if he feels connected to you in that moment, if he feels your laughter, your presence, your authenticity, he's more turned on than if everything had gone perfectly, because perfection is forgettable. Connection is unforgettable. When a man feels connected to you, he's not worried about whether the lights are dimmed or whether you've got the perfect angle. He's lost in you. He's drawn into the way you look at him, the way you smile mid-kiss, the way your body relaxes when you let go. That connection is raw, it's messy, and it's real. And real is always hotter than perfect. Here's the truth most people don't realize: arousal isn't just physical, it's deeply emotional. A man might be able to get physically stimulated by a magazine cover or a movie scene, but true arousal, the kind that sticks with him, that makes him crave you, comes from emotional connection. When he feels like he's sharing something intimate, something that belongs only to the two of you, that's when he can't stop thinking about you afterwards. Think of the times you've had the best experiences. Was it because everything went smoothly? Or was it because you felt free, playful, completely present with the other person? Maybe you tripped over your words. Maybe you tangled up in the sheets. Maybe you even burst out laughing in the middle of it. And instead of ruining the moment, it made it better because it was real, because you were connected. And here's the beautiful part: connection isn't complicated. It doesn't require scripts or strategies. It's eye contact that lingers a little longer than usual. It's the way you hold his face when you kiss him. It's the laugh you share when something silly happens instead of pretending it didn't. It's allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to be imperfect, and to let him see the real you. That vulnerability is what makes him feel safe enough to open up to. And that's when desire flows. When you stop chasing perfection and start chasing connection, everything changes. You stop worrying about whether you're doing it right, and you start focusing on being there in the moment with him. And that's the exact thing that pulls him deeper into you. So yes, the makeup, the outfits, the mood lighting, those can all be fun extras, but they're never the main course. The main course is the bond you share, the intimacy that's unique to the two of you, the feeling that when he's with you, he's not just having an experience, he's having the experience when he can't get anywhere else. And that, ladies, is the truth. Men don't stay aroused because of how perfect you are. They stay aroused because of how connected they feel to you. And once you realize that connection beats perfection every time, you stop trying so hard to impress and start effortlessly captivating him in a way he'll never forget. So here's the truth, ladies. Men may seem simple on the surface, but when it comes to real arousal, they're so much more layered than we give them credit for. It's not just about what they see, it's about what they feel. 85% of men don't get fully aroused until these 5 things are in place. They need to feel desired. They need the power of anticipation. They need emotional safety. They need your confidence. And they need the connection that beats perfection every single time. When you bring these 5 elements into your love life, something magical happens. Suddenly, intimacy isn't just routine, it's electric. It's not just physical, it's unforgettable. And the best part, you stop chasing the idea of being perfect for him and start realizing that the real turn on has always been the way you make him feel. So the next time you're with your man, don't ask yourself, am I doing enough? Ask instead, am I making him feel desired? Am I creating tension? Am I letting him feel safe, alive, and deeply connected to me? Because when the answer to those questions is yes, you'll never have to wonder whether he's aroused. He'll show you in every possible way. Now, if you found this powerful, hit that like button, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and make sure you subscribe because we're just getting started. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.